Well, if you watch the first 2 episodes of the Joe Pontillo show, you're probably wondering why would he make a 3rd episode?
Mm-hmm.
But I did! So here we are, episode 3 of the Joe Pontillo show. Yeah!
Yeah!
I know for all you fake brick aficionados, I changed it up this week, but we do have another sign that says the Joe Pontillo show. This is kind of how this is going to work. I just will travel around the world and just put up a sign that says the Joe Pontillo show. And then boom, it's a podcast. So great.
This feels like a meet cute.
Excuse me?
You heard me. You heard me.
What's a meet cute?
When it's like those like a sitcom trope where it's just like, hey, how's it going? Oh wow, you like reading books too? And then they beat for coffee.
Todd, are you working on anything right now? That's kind of where we're at. Oh yeah, so Todd Mondesi's here as the inaugural guest on the show. Yes. I was threatening to have you on the last episode, but
then he released me like the hostages. You're released for now.
I just didn't care for your tone in our text conversation.
What?
I was like, you know what? He's not that excited.
Well, I'm broken down, so it's not you. It's probably It's probably me. Meet cute over.
Oh man, Todd is a legendary, disrespected New York City comedian / producer.
Am I really legendary? I feel like if I'm legendary, people would be like, "Whoa, Todd Mondesi! Whoa!" I feel like,
hey, you've been running that show for 16 years. That should have gotten at least 1 article written about it.
Right. Yeah. Or maybe a handshake, a stern handshake,
or just
good job,
some form of respect.
Yeah, like maybe Eric Adams giving me a plaque.
No.
For doing New York City comedy.
I think Eric Adams more likely would just send a SWAT team into your show.
Good.
We have to stop these comedy shows from happening.
Too many illegal immigrants doing comedy.
This Todd Mondesi, he's done the same show with the same name, but at 18 different venues. Mm-hmm. Where's the cutoff? Mm-hmm. This is dangerous. Mm-hmm. No one knows where one of these shows are going to pop up. That's why we put more police than ever on this particular mission.
Tackle.
Yeah, thanks for being here, I guess.
No worries, yeah. Well, Pontillo is one of the most talented and professional comedians out there, and we both hate each other for giving each other compliments.
For what we've done to each other.
Yeah. But honestly, I really appreciate you. You're always solid. You're a very hilarious guy. And the fact that, you're low maintenance as, you're not a diva, you just bring it, and I appreciate it. I know this is sounds like a hand job, but he never gets his compliments, and you deserve compliments.
Wow. I feel like 90% of the people watching just immediately stop.
We want hate, not love. You're doing podcasting
We were
wrong.
here for fake bricks and negativity, and just get neither of those things right now.
Screw you, New York City comedy. You don't get it. We're the new bad guys in town. We'll see you at WrestleMania.
That's, thanks for watching. We just did, are we allowed to talk about this? What we just did?
What?
Well, a couple of things. We were supposed to do a road gig last month that was very far away, and the pay was questionable. I had been out to this place before. Well, long story. There's this winery, and there's this barbecue place in the middle, not even the middle of Pennsylvania, it's past the middle. Right. But it's in a part of Pennsylvania I don't think anyone even knows about. And so last summer, I was supposed to do 2 shows, one at a winery, didn't happen. 2 people came, and it was this amazing story where...
Were you really pumped? You were like, hey, we here!
Yeah, I riffed on the mic with Matt Vita for a few minutes, and jokingly said... And I'm selling T-shirts, and one of the 2 people who came to the show bought my T-shirt. Okay. So even though there was no show, I was still up $20.
Yeah, gas money.
Yeah. And then we got pulled over by the cops on the way
because of Matt Vita looking like a marijuana farmer.
A rogue Amish.
The Amish mafia. Is the mafia and the Amish working together to smuggle time?
He watches the show, and you're not going to be on.
Oh, yeah. Well, Matt Vita also, Matt Vita's part of Joe Pontillo, Todd Mondesi cinematic universe.
Yes, he is, actually. So what would happen? Oh, yeah, and then we did another show at this barbecue place, which was actually great. But then the winery wanted to do a Valentine's Day show. And at first, and I should have known better right off the bat. and I had forgotten exactly how far away it was. So, long story short, the show didn't happen. Which is kind of, it sucks, because you were probably like, yay, I finally get to leave the city. And then I'm like, Todd, some bad news.
What?
You're never leaving the city.
You're making me sound like Todd, I'm stuck in a city like forever. Like, Todd never goes out. He always stays in Brooklyn.
How did you get to Brooklyn? Oh, you live in Brooklyn.
Yes, I walked 5 hours from Flatbush.
And the best part about this gig is they do put you up, but they put you up like 2 floors above the barbecue place. Mm-hmm. And last time we were there was July. There was no air conditioning. It was 1,000,000 degrees. None of the outlets worked, so we couldn't charge anything. Mm-hmm. And on top of everything else, it was haunted.
Oh, God.
And when I'm staying on the road...
It's always haunted. Yeah. There's always something... And it was haunted!
But when I'm staying on the road, it's either you have electricity and air conditioning, or the place is haunted. It can't be both negative things.
Right.
You know, first of all, shouldn't Ghost make it colder by default?
Right. With the chill.
Right. Have all these like Travel Channel shows been lying to me over the years? And then suddenly it got cold, and that's when I knew the spirit of... Ray J. Johnson was
Ray J. Johnson?
Is that somebody that he used to do comedy?
I don't know. Baseball player from the 1970s who overdosed on doing comedy.
Ketamine?
Yeah.
On home runs.
That sounds like one of those made up names you have like on sitcoms, like Punchline, the movie Punchline, where it's like, and Ray J. Johnson. And
you've actually seen that movie? I thought.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think I've heard. Well, maybe I've seen it like when I was a kid, when it was like on regular TV on like a Saturday.
You're in it.
Yes,
You've been doing comedy, yes. You were just a kid in the background being like, hey, put the kid up for 5 minutes in front of Tom Hanks.
And that ruined my life.
Damon Wayans.
I consider that child abuse.
Oh, yeah. So you've been doing comedy well longer than me, which is hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you started, when you were like 16 or something?
Yeah. I started in the 20th century. Oh, which is something now, yeah.
That is something.
Yeah.
Spanning 2 centuries.
Exactly. I've been doing comedy for 2 centuries now.
Which means you were doing comedy during 9/11.
Right.
Actually doing a show.
Well, not on the day of 9/11 because everything was canceled.
But that'd be weird if it wasn't. Like, guys, is the mic still on today?
We did call that.
If 9/11 happened today, comedians would be like, we're still doing the mic, right? Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, I called the venue. I did call a venue because there was like a Parkside Lounge open mic. And we called the venue like, hey, just checking, is there still a show?
And they were just like, oh, 9/11 just happened. So terrible. It wasn't.
Then I was like, it was an inside job. They're like, what?
Bush did it. Excuse me, you're banned. It's over.
Great, now we're gonna. Well, at least the CIA will be watching.
That's fine.
I
need those views.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to do. And it was funny because like I was obviously not doing comedy yet. I was high school, college, whatever. It was, and I was like, but I knew I wanted to do comedy, and my first thought after 9/11 was, will stand-up comedy even be a thing anymore? Has everything changed?
Did you ask that question after the COVID? Like, will stand-up comedy change anymore?
Yeah, but see, when COVID happened, though, like, once Zoom things, like, outdoor shows started happening, you're like, oh, you can't stop us. We're cockroaches.
We'll wait till World War III.
Yeah.
It's like a blob. Is there a show tonight?
But that's by the time COVID happened, like, I was, like, a hardened criminal, and I know how everything works. But also, like, when COVID happened and like, I didn't have to interact with a lot of people in comedy for a long time, I kind of was like, this is actually nice. Like, not that I was like, oh, maybe I'm done with this, but I was like, I kind of, like, if this never really came back, I think I'd be okay with it. But then it did, and now I'm like, I love comedy so much, and now I'm doing a YouTube show, and this is all thanks to you.
Yeah.
COVID 9/11.
Yeah.
But when 9/11 happened, I was very young. I didn't know anything about the world, and I'm like, is this just it? Is like, no one gonna be able to laugh anymore?
You actually thought that?
Well, yeah, because at the time, it's this very shocking thing. So you're just like, wow, this is... I remember my dad... Well, 2 things. One, I came home from school, and me and my friends just started throwing rocks at a beehive.
Because of 9/11?
Yeah.
Because of 9/11?
And my mom came outside and was like, the world is falling apart, and you're throwing rocks at a beehive?
That does sound like the first thing that happens when the world falls apart. Let's go attack the bees!
Guys, come over!
Exactly.
And then, you know, I feel like my dad came home and did something very patriotic. And then we saluted the flag for an hour.
Your dad, like, the bees weren't the terrorists, but we'll show them.
So, but yeah. So how long, like, I feel like, what, within like a week there were shows happening again?
Yeah, probably. Like, maybe a week or two. I think because there was, like, a lot of smoke. And
Yeah.
the funny thing was, I was supposed to work that, like, I was in college for a minute, and I was supposed to work as a messenger, like a foot messenger. And, like, I sucked at foot messaging because I didn't know how to ride a bike, and I still don't because, you know.
You were a foot messenger, but you were supposed to be on a bike?
Well, but people on a bike would make more money. So, as a foot messenger, I just be...
You'd just be, like, running around the city being like, this is for you! This is for you!
Barely. So...
Horribly out of breath?
Yeah. I was so bad, I basically, like, came into work late because I was like, you know what, as long as I make MetroCard money to go to school or something, right?
Right.
So that Tuesday, right, I woke up and I was supposed to go to work, but I was like, oh, man, I'm late. And then I turn the TV on, and then I see the first building fall, and I guess...
Oh, my God.
Well, I guess I don't have to go to work today.
Yeah, so is work still on? Well, that's insane. And were you anywhere in comedy at the time?
I was like, what, maybe 18 or something. So I was just still doing mics and stuff, and still trying to, like...
Didn't you do some, like, weird TV thing, like, really early on?
I did UCB. I just did extra work here and there if I got it, but I didn't really, you know, I mean...
Because I feel like if you go onto your IMDb, you have some credit from like 1999 or 2000 or something. I forget
you mean the Joe Pontillo show? The original one?
Yeah, the original one that I did for the FX, whatever that was. When It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia came out, FX was like, we're looking for the next It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This was like 2006. So I was doing comedy by this point, but I was not really doing it. I was like, I didn't know what I was doing with my life. And I filmed a 5-minute pilot of the Joe Pontillo show.
Was I in it?
No.
Racist. I'm kidding. Or am I?
Well, it took place on Long Island. So
but there's no blacks on Long Island. Eddie Murphy? Hello?
No, whatchamacallit? But, I don't think I really met you till like late 2006 or 2007.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
And at first I was like, what's this guy's deal?
Oh my God, 2020. Yeah. Through our contact, that will not be named.
No, we will not bring him up on the show.
Exactly.
He might watch this and be like, really?
And I'm not a guest? I brought you in. Banned.
But big things happening for us now, because we just, we did this show, which was theoretically being filmed for Netflix.
Yeah. So we did a show.
Yeah.
So I have a mini comedy club. It's more of a comedy network because we're called the UG Comedy Show, like the underground comedy show.
Kind of like this, where he just shows up random places and puts a sign up. And
right.
Like, this is a comedy club. Not really, but...
Right. We have 7 white people buying drinks.
Who don't laugh at jokes, they just snap their fingers when they like the
Exactly.
joke. That was fun. One of the shows I did at 1-in-1. There was just a group of girls there, and after every joke, they were like, haha, yeah!
Oh, God. Well, yeah, so what was he talking about?
Netflix! We're on Netflix.
So we did a variety show collab with this girl named Meditate, who was like a singer and...
great person.
Yeah.
And it was a really fun event. And probably the mix of music and comedy doesn't always go well.
And smoke machines.
Yeah, I definitely passed out after I left.
Right.
I also got like a very weird intro, which didn't help.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy edits videos. What? That's great. They're ready to laugh now.
Oh, I love editors.
Editors are the funniest people.
Yeah.
Get on stage.
They get it. Yeah. Yeah, it was like, but yeah, she was being profiled by a Netflix type show. I guess they're doing like a documentary on like starving artists or something like that.
And we're all pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was anybody there not performing?
I think she had some friends. It was a birthday thing too, so she kind of brought a lot of people.
But yeah,
and stuff.
But by the time I went on stage, and I did fine, but like there was just a whole section of the room that was just very loudly talking to my set, and I was like, well, of course, this is my set while a taping is happening. So I can't wait for, the 3 seconds of me on Netflix, being like, everyone's talking. So, but yeah, and I have this like long history of like every time I've done like a TV taping, something terrible has happened. So there was that years ago. Did you ever do a Comedy Time taping?
I don't think so. What was that?
It started in LA at the Ice House, and then they were also doing them at Broadway. And it was Comedy Time TV, but it was just a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it get a lot of hits?
It did. It got a ton of hits, but they were all like teenagers who just hated every comic. This person sucks. Yeah, kill yourself. Well, it was literally like every other comic.
So early Kill Tony, basically.
Except kill every comedian. Hunt them down. Somebody literally left a comment on someone's video where they just wrote, boo! Like 800 O's. So insane. But anyway, so it's at Broadway Comedy Club. You got a cool $25 to do this.
Okay. Is there an audience, or was it just like...
Yeah, it was packed, because it was a regular like Monday night show. Okay. So theoretically, you were set up for success. There was an audience member got into a fight with a bartender or a server very loudly right outside the room while...
you want some?
Yeah.
Yeah, a drink!
While Matt Ruby was on.
Oh, wow.
And you could hear it, and, during his set, and he just got off stage during his set and popped outside and was like, are you kidding me? I'm doing a TV taping, which was probably the highlight of the night. So then I went up at the end, and they dropped checks on.
Oh, wow.
So I was doing a check spot on a TV taping, which was just great.
There should be a TV show where you just do check spots.
Yeah.
Stand up.
And I was like, did nobody know you're supposed to wait till after the last like taping comic was going on to drop checks? So good stuff. So that was taping number 1. Then I did Gotham Comedy Live, which for a few years was like a very big credit. I feel like by the time I finally did it, no one really cared anymore. And in fact, the show was no longer live. I think we filmed it in like September 2016, and it didn't air until April 2017. And so Paula Poundstone was hosting.
Oh wow!
I had been told that this show was awesome, and that the crowds were always, lit or whatever, and half the crowd was comedians. Because they had come to see some
big
guy.
Paula Poundstone fans.
No, they'd come.
Paula Poundstone.
Paula, lock me in your basement, or whatever you did. I don't know, but she did something terrible. But she's still out there tweeting about politics, which like a comedian did something terrible when they're just endlessly like virtue signaling about politics.
Which side is she on
Twitter? Oh, I mean, they're all on the same side. Nobody virtue signals for right wing things. They just like complain on the right. They're just like, oh, the left destroyed grilled cheese sandwiches. Whatever.
More crime now. You see what's going on?
Whereas like
tofu, huh?
Oh,
you're soy. We should do that. Can we do that? Can we just do a fake sitcom?
I'm ready to just go all out political one way or the other. I'm just trying to figure out which side is going to give me more money. But then like all the left wing people are just like, guys, you have to do this or democracy's over. Anyway, see me at the Cleveland Funny Bone.
And my pronouns. Don't forget my pronouns. Don't.
I have to see if I can edit Todd out of this entire video.
Please.
Most of these comedians have come to see this guy, Daniel Crow, who, nice guy, funny comic. I don't know if you remember him. I don't think he's doing comedy
Sounds
anymore,
familiar,
yeah. He lived in like Maryland or Delaware, but he would come to the city to do spots. That's how hungry and desperate comedians are. They would literally live in another state, but come to be in New York City to do shows for free or little money. Although Gotham Comedy Live paid pretty well, but that wasn't a regular thing. So anyway, Paula Poundstone completely forgets my intro.
Oh wow.
And it was really awkward because they're like, what do you want your intro to be? And I started saying something and they were like, please don't mention another TV network. I was like, oh yeah, good point. So I was like, so I wasn't on MTV.
Exactly.
And then she just totally forgot. And then she went, give it up for your next comedian, Jumpin' Joe.
Wow.
Pontillo. I don't even know if she said Pontillo. She just like mumbled something.
Jumpin' Joe Pontillo sounds great.
It was
Is he going to jump?
it was like she was starting to say Josh Flash. Is that the song?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Jumpin' Jack Flash or something?
It doesn't matter. So my set was over before it began. No, I did fine, but it was like...
It blows your ego, you know, because you want to be... It's definitely the intro. It's part of the whole package of like, it's like professional wrestling, you know?
And I was so hyped to do this show because it was like a 1.5-year process for me to get on this show. Oh. Having to send multiple videos and, you know, getting chased down by Chris Mazzilli in the hallway of Gotham being like, I like you, you're going to get on, I just need to see a different video, which was actually very nice because most club bookers would be like, you're a comedian? But he was actually really cool.
And they're not wrong.
And yeah, I was. There's a gray area there, But yeah, so I was hyped to do the show. I was told the audience would be great, and then all I could see in the crowd was just like the cold, dead stares of other comedians. Because they don't laugh.
Right.
They're there to see their one friend.
They're hate watching,
and they're just like looking at you like, why are you on stage?
You know, you should start your set out with, I'll book you for spots. Oh!
Yeah. So yeah, TV taping, and this is kind of it. That was like so. Gotham Comedy Live was his big credit for a few years, and then weren't they doing like virtual shows, which nobody was watching, but it was like the same show
in the metaverse.
Which thankfully died. No offense, I know you're a big metaverse guy.
I think it's still around. I think there's people are still doing like metaverse comedy club stuff.
Oh, I'm sure, but those people probably shouldn't be allowed outside anyway. So it kind of works out. But speaking of things that were relevant and are no longer, just for laughs.
Oh yeah,
So
oh well.
Which hasn't really. I mean, like it's a cool thing to do, And then the guy with the the fedora, shock. Remember?
What?
Never mind.
There's a lot of guys with fedoras out there. Are you talking about
in comedy? So, but yeah,
the fedora man. What is this, like a Twin Peaks episode?
You'll know him when you see him. But yeah, so Just for Laughs canceled this year, which theoretically is people are acting like it's this big blow, but like it hasn't really done anything for anyone in years. Like basically the last like 10 or 12 years, it's just been like new faces, old faces. Here's new comics to watch, and then no one watches them, and then everyone forgets about it by the next year. It was cool that it was a rare thing where you could just freely submit to it. I don't know if you knew this.
I think you have to. There might be some pay elements too, because like you
have to get yourself there if you're gonna go.
No, I think I had to submit because I submitted some like not just new talent, but it was like experimental shows stuff that they were submitting, like alternative show type stuff. But I never got in, and I had a project. I have an AI versus humans comedy roast battle, Comedy Bites. We've been profiled in New York Times, Financial Times, stuff like that. Oh, this would work for that.
The depth of comedy.
Right. Yeah.
That's just a new section in the New York Times now. Yes. The depth of comedy.
Is Todd Marcy still trying to end humor?
Again?
Yeah, but I always got like I sent like 2 or 3 like good stuff, and I got rejected. And I've been hearing that from other people. It seemed like they were more into like if you had an agent or manager.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, who cares? You know what I'm saying?
I know people are acting like, oh, this is a sign that comedy's dead. No, not really, because like the thing with comedy and entertainment in general is like some of these things or people just stay around forever, and no one really cares anymore. But no one tells them to stop, and I guess they finally just ran out of money. So it's just like when people are on TV for 1 million years. Like at first 10 years, like yeah, that's good, and then 30 years later, the view's still on. Why? Or a late night host. Like, does anybody care about Jimmy Fallon now?
Right.
Or
Well, the weird thing is, like, back in the day, it was just like, hey, comics from HBO, MTV, like as your credit, but there's no MTV really anymore. There's no Comedy Central doesn't really have comics.
I know my MTV credit is from like 2015 now.
Yeah. So now it's like, hey, comics from YouTube, Tubi.
I know, it's so funny because. For years, I feel like I was making fun of, like, yeah, YouTube's your credit. Now I'm like, yeah, YouTube's my credit.
Exactly.
It's huge. My special did really well on YouTube.
Smash that like button. Yeah, because of you.
Crush that comment button.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of gone backward. I think we're just going to end up having YouTube and MySpace be the dominant social media forces again in the next few years because
Etch a sketch.
Instagram is like killing itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
TikTok is banned.
Good.
Or about to be banned.
Good.
That's a weird one because on the one hand you're like, this is a gross government overreach of censorship, but on the other hand you're like, yeah, but if it stops a couple people from thinking they can do stand-up comedy, it just might be worth it.
Right. Well, not only that though, but like TikTok was always weird where they would just censor you for like the smallest thing. Like if you're like a chubby lesbian girl, they'd be like, you know what? You're shadow banned. Sorry. And now they're like begging people, hey, there's censorship out there. You don't want little us from China to be censored. I'm like, yeah, cry me a river, bro.
TikTok's a very weird app because it's not an app that you could actually like search for anything. You kind of just like, here's what we're showing you, and they show you like the worst videos imaginable.
Yeah, I hate it.
It's like, hey, look, here's this filter that turns you into a goblin. I don't want to see this. Please stop. Right. And also, as I get more and more followers on TikTok, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Like my videos like race to like 250 views and then usually abruptly stop for like no real reason. Mm-hmm. Like nothing makes any sense. No matter how many likes I get. If you have 20 likes, 80 likes, it's like 270 views, you're done.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And then
this is run by China. They don't want real Americans out there with their funny views.
Yeah, so like TikTok's weird because on the one hand it's like, oh, I'm reaching all these new people, but on the other hand it's like there's people on TikTok who do things, they pretend to be NPCs.
Oh, okay.
Where they literally just they just film themselves going, I'm hungry, or me tired, something. What? And people watch this and they're like, yeah, say it again. I don't know if it's a sex thing or they're just weirdos. But
what part of TikTok are you at?
Oh, yeah, you have to Google it. Google NPCs on TikTok. You will find... Yeah, I did like a spoof video of this. And ice cream, yum. That'll be $500, please. I just lost $500? What was that, too real? I'm a legitimate actor. What am I supposed to do? Some guy just left a comment that said, shave your head.
What? Because they're directing people to do stuff like they're...
Or my hair looked bad that day. I'm not really sure. I don't have great hair, but it's fine. So
naturally,
good. Yeah. So basically, what's going to happen is TikTok is either going to cease to exist in America. I've got a guy I know in England. He's on TikTok. Is he falling for propaganda? I should message him. Because what they're upset about is that young people are getting news from TikTok. About what's going on in the world. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Young people aren't going to subscribe to the New York Times or the Washington Post or watch MSNBC so they could see, the former White House press secretary and a bunch of guys from Raython be like, yeah, we need more bombs. Ha! 16-year-olds are like, yeah, you know what? I'm pro-government now. Not happening. So
they're making 16-year-olds more annoying, though.
They know too much now. I didn't know anything when I was 16. That's
I mean, all right, so if you were 16 and TikTok was around, would you be doing that stuff? Like dance challenges and like...
Oh, I don't think I'd be doing dance challenge. I think I'd be like, hey guys, it's me, it's JoePontillo. Here's my crazy thing. Who's my friend? We're gonna...
Would you be throwing rocks at bees?
I basically... look, we got a beehive. It's got one. Yeah, beehive camp. No, I'd probably be filming all the dumb things I did when I was 16, like running people's doorbells and throwing water balloons at strangers.
Oh, you were a horrible child. What the hell was that about?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But that's what
JoePontillo the Menace?
Yeah, I had a slingshot.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think this is what you did on Long Island. Like, you just, tried to see how illegal you can be without getting caught.
Did you have, a Mr. Wilson? Like an old guy that was your enemy? Like, in a cartoon-wise?
No, I was always friends with older people, which sounds like I may have fallen in with the wrong crowd.
Mr. Gagach, I'm gonna get you.
Anyway, so goodbye TikTok. Had a good run.
Please.
So what's come on? What do you got for me? What's
JoePontillo just did my new episode of PN and Friends.
Oh yeah,
showed up as
yeah, I filmed that 2 years ago.
Like the final episodes are coming out this year.
But
we might need Pontillo for another cameo
go check
via Zoom.
Todd's YouTube channel. He's got a whole bunch of stuff on there. And your Instagram kind of looks like somebody's having a stroke. But...
Right. Oh, well, yeah, dude.
You have like 5 Instagram pages, right?
Kind of, yeah. For all my different schizophrenic personalities.
Yeah, all your personalities.
Brands.
All your brands.
Yeah, that's why you're not crazy anymore. It's like, no, I don't have another. I have a brand, different brands. Well, I make fun of social media because it's all horrible. So
it is, yeah.
I do those reply videos, but in my own way. So a new thing I'm doing now is like I'm screen recording like videos of like girls, like hot girls posting content, and then like the replies of like sad people for them. So you'll have a guy who's just like, "Yeah, you stuck your tongue out. I wonder where." And then it's like this 90-year-old like army like ex-vet from like Missouri who's like, "Get her done," and with his stink finger out. So
great.
Yeah.
That's I know somebody else who does that too, and I just hate it so much.
What do you mean, like making that exact same thing, or like?
Yeah, like reacting to like other people's videos, I guess. Where it's like,
but they always do this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn girl, you make me want to leave the house.
And they get like
maybe get a job. Yeah. Just get my life together.
And they get like 1 million views. And like it'd be like 2 guys like us going like, oh, they're gonna do that. Oh, like and subscribe.
Yeah. I think what we should do is we should watch this episode that we just shot and then react to it in the corner. Kind of like the old guys on the Muppets.
Yeah. Oh, that's what Pontillo's.
Oh man, he's talking about the beehives again.
Yeah. Crazy. We can relate to that.
Well, this was a joyless episode.
It was very.
So, we actually have a sponsor. Yeah. When our elbows combine,
Ebony and Ivory,
we heal the New York City comedy scene.
Notice we're not connecting in our elbows because we're afraid of intimacy.
Todd, let me tell you, we've known each other too long.
Exactly.
And I've been on every version of your show.
We've never shared elbows.
We've never shared elbows.
We've never bumped elbows.
Oh, how could we not?
Exactly. And we're not going to do it this episode. Tune in next time.
Yeah, that'll have to be a extra episode we shoot. Todd, Joe, we just run at each other and hit the elbows.
Rocky IV style, whatever.
Yeah, let's cut to a quick break. I have a sponsor, Huracan. They sent me a commercial, so I'm going to throw that in here.
Huracan.
It's July something and November 23rd, I think. I'll get the dates are in the commercial. Thanks, Dave Donovan, and big fan of the show. Sorry there weren't fake bricks. Do you want to see the fake bricks afterwards? Nah, you're good. Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Can you got a lot of comments about those bricks.
Can you zoom them to me like a virtual Zoom?
No, that's gonna cost you. So upcoming shows for me. What's happening? What week is it? I don't even know. Oh, all right. Thursday I'm doing the Red Horse in White Plains, New York. First time they're doing comedy there. So the food's good apparently. And then Friday I'm in Philly with Matt Vita. Saturday Jersey with Steve Marshall. And then Monday night, March 25th, I'm at Look Cinemas in the city, 8 o'clock, and then Steiny's in Staten Island. Yeah, I'm going to Staten Island. And then I got some Long Island stuff coming up that may or may not involve beehives, and whatever. What do you got coming up?
I got all of JoePontillo's gigs.
Yeah.
Come on, can I get another spot?
Yeah, I got to book you on another show in the middle of nowhere that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
That was good. I was like, yeah, I'm a road comic. Todd, you're not a road comic. I have some bad news.
Was that one of your pranks?
Got you! Yeah, next I'm going to ring and run your house. Damn it, I thought that was industry.
Well, you can check me out at the UGG Comedy Show. Follow us on Instagram. We have shows in, we have a comedy club in the East Village at 1 and 1. Tuesdays, our competition show, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. We also have shows at the Secret Pour on Sundays. And yeah, we're doing shows all over. So, hopefully we'll do more Pontillo Todd Mondesi shows outside of New York to where you're at.
There's been nothing in this mug like the entire show, but I've just continued to do this. There's like a drop, but it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Throw your laptop out the window, throw your phone in the garbage. Social media is over, people. The Joe Pontillo Show. We'll see you next time. Or not!